Hi, everyone. Once more, welcome to yet another episode of the You Can Be Anything podcast. Your girl, Soso Babes, here. And as you all know, now and again, I will feature these amazing people who are willing to share their stories, to share their experiences with us. And I bring them on the platform to chat with us. You all know how I enjoy doing this. Again, it is my happy place. And that is why I keep encouraging you to recommend those people to me, send those people over to me, people who are willing to share their stories, their experiences, people who just want to chat. They want to share their challenges. They want to share their aha moments. So Babes has a platform for you. So never hesitate to reach out to me. So today I am honored to be talking to someone that I've admired from behind the Cameroon social media space. I've admired what he does. And again, one of the main things that intrigued me about him was his voice. Today I just learned that he is a voiceover artist. I bet that is why. Today I'm honored to have MC Dibenja. MC Dibenja is the founder and the creative director of the Six Studios Network. Under the Six Studios Network, they have a plethora of other shows that they run, and he's going to be telling us about this. Thank you so much, MC Dibenja, for accepting my invitation. And hey, you're welcome to the You Can Be Anything podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. Way!
Awesome. Thank you, Dibenja. It's such an honor to have you. And hey, your energy just makes me want to keep doing this. We should have more interviews, okay?
But yeah, I'm all yours.
Thanks again for accepting my invitation. And this is one of the things that I love to do. It is my happy spot, as I always say it, talking to people who are doing something similar. People who, how does it feel being on the other side of the microphone now?
I mean, it always feels great. Like, I'm not asking the question, I'm answering the questions. So, and when the questions come difficult, sometimes you'll be like, oh, is this how people feel when you ask them difficult questions?
That's how they feel. So sometimes it's important to be on the other side of the mic as well. So thank you. So thanks again, Dibenja. So for those who are watching us who do not know who you are, or you want to give them a refresher of, hey, this is MC Dibenja Ngotto. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Who would you say you are?
So you did an amazing job in the introduction. That's on top. And MC Dibenja is as a TV presenter, a red carpet host, an MC, a voiceover artist, and a content producer. I'm the creative director of the Six Studios Network. I'm a dad of two, and I'm a husband. That's a 10-year-old, a 9-year-old boy, and a 1-year-old girl.
Awesome. That's great. Again, if I were to just look at you, I would say maybe you are almost a Gen Z, but if you're telling me you have a 9-year-old child, then you're not a Gen Z.
I could be a Gen Z still, because maybe I had my son at the age of 16, 17. Maybe I could still be a Gen Z.
That's very possible. That's possible.
I'm not a Gen Z. I'm not a Gen Z.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And as you say, creative, tell us a little bit about the Six Studios Network. What is this about?
So the Six Studios Network, it's a small production house company that we started in 2022, my wife and I. So I brought the idea up because I'm into media and all that, creating content. After my experiences working with a couple of TV stations and some of the best independent content producers in Cameroon. And it was time for us to start something because we had ideas and we didn't have people who would fund the ideas or who would come in to say, okay, we're producing the ideas. So we had to take the bull by the horns ourselves. And my wife and I started the company in 2022. And so we produce content for TV and social media and positive content. We're trying to put our voice together to try to see how we can help build the industry together. You know, everybody's doing their own part, just like you're doing your own part here. We're trying to do our own part to see how we can produce, put the industry forward, and at the same time trying to build a business. You know, because we're investing money in it, and so it's an investment that we're doing. So we produced our first show where we produced on the Six Studios Network was Chat Center. In 2022, we produced Chat Center season 1. We're still trying to talk to people who can get on board to go for season 2, because the production now is now big, and we cannot just handle it on ourselves, you know, because we're actually a startup. And then we have Tales and Cocktails, which is a co-production between the Six Studios Network and Zilmatic Pictures of Closer Oben. So yeah, and then we have other small productions that we're doing, small shows that we're doing, creating platforms for people to be heard. You know, we're trying to make people have platforms where their voices can be heard. Small young creatives in the industry. So we did Diaries. So Diaries is one of our latest productions, our latest creations. And then we have Glameron. Glameron is everything fashion, style, and glamour in Cameroon when it comes to behind the scenes of celebrities getting ready for events, glam moments. We have makeup tutorials. We have style tutorials. What you should wear to what event. Those are contents that make up Glameron. So as content creators, we are always trying to innovate. We're always trying to think when one part of the company is stuck somewhere because we're looking for funds. We're trying to create something that would keep the company running. Because we looked at it and said that since we don't have the funds that we need right now to do Chat Center season 2, let's create something that would not require us a huge budget, but we impact people. We have a huge impact, and that's why we started Diaries. So that's the Six Studios Network.
Awesome. That's amazing. Before we go into talking about the details of the Six Studio Network, talking about Tales and Cocktails, Glameron, Diaries, Chat Center, and all of that, I want, if you don't mind, please tell us a little bit about your background. The reason, and again, I just want to tell you why I bring up this question is, as you hear from the name of my podcast, You Can Be Anything podcast, I try to encourage people to know that sometimes in life, we all grew up going to school and doing stuff, but then as we mature and we become more entrepreneurial, we have to build families. We see that need to diversify our niches to get into something else. And I use myself as an example all the time. Yeah. I am a linguist by nature, bachelor's, master's, and some PhD even. But today, linguistics is not putting food on my table. Right. So tell us a little bit about your background, being in the entertainment industry and doing all the production that you are today. Is that something that you studied back in school that you're actually putting into practice?
I studied in school. I studied English language, just like your podcast. The podcast says you can be anything. I believe that you can be anything that you want to. And I really like the name of the podcast, just to say that. Because it motivates people. It motivates you to know that it's not just about what you studied. Because I've never used my degree. It helped me because it shaped a lot of things about my life. I can't say that it did not. But when it comes to my profession, my career right now, there's nothing about it that is related to my background studies. I've just been a talkative from birth. You know, like my uncle used to call me Ukwa when I was a kid, because I was always in the face of everybody, always talking, always wanting people to listen to me. And I've always liked to talk to people, you know, to talk to people. Back in 2011, 12, 13, I think, I volunteered for UNDP to go do sensors for mosquito nets. And I saw how much I used to go to around Meme. I used to talk to people, go to villages and explain to people what we're doing here. And all these things made me feel like my thing is to talk to people. You know, interview people, ask them about their lives. Yeah. So from one thing, leading to another, joining the journalism club in high school, and then getting to university, taking a minor in performing arts. Then I started liking acting. So when I was on stage all these times, my friends always invite me to host their birthdays and all these small events. As I see myself doing it. And then a friend who is in Dubai now, he was like, why don't you go apply on a radio station? Why don't you go look for a job on a radio station? Because whenever we're together, when we listen to the radio, I'll always repeat what the journalists are saying on the radio. So whatever they say when we're together, I'll always keep repeating that. He will look at me like that. I'm like, why don't you do that? But I had this setbacks because I used to talk so fast and I used to stammer up a bit. And I was like, I want to do this. Then back at home when I used to live with my uncle and his family, they'll be like, you can't because you don't talk well. People cannot hear you. Listen to people talking on radio or on TV. They talk really clear. People can hear them, but nobody will hear you. So when they said all that, it was like a motivation to me. Like I have to do this thing.
Yeah.
Like I had to do it. I love it. One of the best times is when I'm talking to people in a show. I can shoot 10 episodes of the show in a day. I can shoot that. I don't get tired when I'm shooting because for me that's my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I go to university, I do all that. I fell in love with films. I know, okay, well, how do I blend talking on TV, like being a presenter and all that, and the movie? So I said, okay. Then I saw scope with Wire because I didn't grow up in a place where I was exposed to things like TV, watching things. I used to just hear radio, and once in a while you watch news. Once in a while you watch news on TV. We didn't even have a TV in our house. My father didn't have a TV when I was growing up. We did not. So it was after when I came to university, I started watching in high school. I started watching Scope with Wire on NBC2, and then it was like, okay, that means there's a blend between these two. Even at the university, I'm like, I could blend my love for movies, my love for films, and presenting. I could talk about films. Because the only thing I knew about was that being a journalist is just news. It's just is it what has happened in the far north?
Reporting. Yeah.
What has happened in Israel? That's all I knew about journalism. I didn't know there was a segment of journalism where I could be a journalist, but not be that kind of journalist. So that's all I knew about it. So when I came across this other thing that I started watching I'm watching Entertainment Tonight. So I was like, oh yeah, I could do this. And that's how I started from one TV station as a volunteer to another. But my break was in 2019 when I worked with My Major Prime. So My Major Prime is one of the biggest TVs in Cameroon. And at that time I was hosting a show, Star Trek, and that's where I was almost everywhere. You know, people were talking right to me from out of Cameroon because My Major Prime is on satellite, and I was getting these calls and all that. So yeah, and so I found myself today as an individual producer because TV has shown me shaggy that I'm just wasting my time on TV. So I said, okay, I have to try to be my own. But thanks to Joanne Gomba, I met her in 2018, and since then she's molded a producer in me. So she's molded a producer in me, and so yeah, we are.
This is amazing. Like, I love how you put the transition of like, hey, this is what you studied and this is what you like to do, which led you into even practicing, repeating, imitating what other journalists are saying because you want to practice, right? You see that is where the whole passion thing is drawn from. And of course, as you say, some of us do this because we love to do it. It doesn't put food on my table, but you on your side, you are in a space where you have to bring in the funds, right? It is your career, it is your passion, and it's also your business. So I think that that's very important. Yeah, and to think of you mentioning names like Joan Gomba, that's another TV presenter that I've admired a lot. I just love her energy. She can be crazy, some of the things she says, and I'm like, yes, I love this girl. Say it, girl, say it. Because I'm sure that if I had her kind of guts, I would say those things too. But yes, those are people that I look up to a lot. The Freaky Table, that's a program I saw. She advertised that it's coming right back after she had her pretty baby. She's back on board, and I'm waiting for that. I used to enjoy that show a lot with the Koi Longest. I think it was a very beautiful beautiful show. I've forgotten the other guy's name, but I know they were used to Yes, yep. I love it. It's a beautiful crew. I always say that if I was in Boy, I'll probably apply to be on a show with them, to host with them, to be one of the, to be their, make their standby host.
Standby host.
Yes.
So we produced that actually. We produced that. We're behind. We were the technical crew behind. We're technical crew behind chat and Freaky Table actually.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
I was the production assistant, the production manager for Freaky Table. So
that's good. I enjoy that. Again, I'm happy that she's coming back. It's such a beautiful show.
And bigger, she's coming back bigger, you know.
Yep, yeah. Awesome. And you also made mention of Glamourone. I know I saw a little bit of Glamourone during Camif. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, then I got it right.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's also, tell us a little bit about the whole Glamourone concept.
So Cameroon, I started seeing that the fashion industry in Cameroon is growing rapidly, and this like I said about people ignoring some sectors and some others in the industry. So I looked at the fashion industry like this will need some attention. The fashion, the style, and the glamour, it needs some attention. We have amazing artists, we have amazing makeup artists, we have amazing stylists, amazing designers, and all these models. So why don't we create something? So Glamour, we go behind the scenes and look at people and take behind the scene videos of people getting ready for events. We do review videos of your outfits. We go on the red carpet and we do review videos. We go to fashion events. We do fashion tips. We get to makeup artists do makeup tutorials, all these kind of things. So we're having all that. If you want to release a collection as a fashion designer, you can release it through us. Like we can be the first people to come there and check it out, and then we do a review of it, and then we do like that. So that's what Glamour is all about. It's about the fashion, style, and glamour industry in Cameroon.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I watched the one you made of Carol Lillian. It was beautiful. I was like, oh, that's a beautiful concept. So another thing that you did make mention of that I want us to put a little bit more light on is diaries, right? I've watched quite a few, like a lot of your diaries episodes, and I really enjoyed them. And so far, one of the things that caught my attention in your diaries episodes is the fact that you're talking to these young people, right? Listening to them talk, I'm like, wow, Cameroon has some really good talent. I think of my days when I was in the 21s.
Yeah.
I think of the days when I was in the 2021s, 22s. I don't think that I was as creative as these kids are today. Tell us a little bit about your diaries program and what you're hoping to achieve with that.
So Darius was created because, like, as a company, we're always trying to create a platform to give people who need that platform to air themselves, their minds out, and then to talk about what they're doing, including chat center. Because we're on a break for chat center because we're looking for probably a partner or a sponsor to get the show going because the budget is really bigger than ours right now, and so we're doing that. And so I discovered that a lot of people who need a platform and whose voices need to be heard. We've had Emilian Bejwandem, who has 170,000 followers on Instagram, and these are not bot followers. These are real followers because you see the engagement, you see real people engaging on her content, and she's verified on Instagram. You see she's having 100 and something thousand followers on TikTok. But these are people that so many people don't know about. These are people that are not given the platform, and so we created diaries so that we could give the platform to people like this. Diaries is a very big project, but this is just part one of the project. So that is a big project that has so many different parts. It's a reality kind of thing. Yeah. So we're trying to introduce diary this is the first segment of diaries where we have these people come, they talk, they feel free and talk, no interruption. We just ask them questions from behind the camera, and then they feel like they're in the space, they air their minds out and all that. So it's a whole big project, but we're trying to introduce a name, diaries, this. So when the time comes, and also it's another way of not letting the production company be silent at the point where we're looking for sponsors to get on shows like Chat Center, because we're planning on Chat Center, and we're trying to get partners who can partner with us, and then we do that. So in the meantime, let's do this one and we're still giving people a platform to express themselves.
Oh, that's beautiful. And hey, keep talking to those Gen Zs. I love to hear how they think, because sometimes when I sit, I'm like, the day these Gen Zs will take over the world, what would it be like? So when I listen to them talk, I'm like, okay, I want to hear. For some reason, I'm attracted to the way Gen Zs think. For real, for some reason, it scares me sometimes. Sometimes it's promising. Sometimes it's like, what? Is that what you would do if they gave you the power to rule the world? But I bet they will be fine. They are growing up. They will be fine. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. And getting to talk about the way you have run this, right? During production, you just mentioned that you did the production for Freaky Tables and again other things. I bet that you both experience in front of the camera and behind the camera. If you were to pick which of them is your favorite, what would you say you enjoy doing more? Being the host, being the producer?
I love the two of them. I love both. I love being in front of the camera and I love being behind the camera. But I think I'm getting more interest these days behind the camera because I like to create. I like to create and then see people bring what I have created to reality. So I'm trying to, for example, we're trying to organize master classes for presenters and all that and producers. So from there, I'm picking, okay, this person I want to work with, this person I want to work with, I'm building fun. But now talking to people and listening to their stories still gets me. You know, when I sit there and I'm talking to you, I'm getting your story, your life experiences, it hits me. So the two of them, I don't think I'm going to leave any of them. I'm going to be that producer I'm going to have at least one show that I'm going to be running. Like Chat Center is my baby. So I'm going to be running Chat Center and then I'm behind the camera overshadowing all that things. So I have an amazing crew I'm working with, amazing crew of young people because mostly young people that we're working with on the production here. So we have these people behind, and so when I'm not, I can just be directing, they're shooting, they're filming, and then I'm editing. So everything, we just do everything together.
That's nice. I do know that, again, you were part of CAMIF 2024. I'm one of those who celebrates CAMIF, who pushes CAMIF out there because I look at it as an initiative that promotes our cultures, an initiative that helps us support our own and come out in our glamour, celebrate our people, valorize all these, our actors and actresses. What is your general impression? Again, I'm not telling you to go deep into it. What was your general impression about CAMIF 2024 as we anticipate 2025?
I think that CAMIF has a lot of work to be done, and I think that organizers of CAMIF need to really step up. I think I said this on another show. I've been with CAMIF since 2016. Sorry, CAMIF started 2016. I've been to every CAMIF since 2016, and either just coming as a guest or doing something. And I've been creating content for CAMIF since 2017. I've been doing something. Every year I have something that I've done. I've created for CAMIF. That I go there, do my interviews and all that on my own, like without being invited. I just get there and try to do my own because we're trying to promote the industry together. But I think that a lot of work needs to be done. The organizers need to sit on the table and put their cards together and be like, okay, this is what's working, this is what's not working. I think as the years go by, CAMIF is, if it's safe to say, as the years go by, CAMIF is I don't know if it's reducing, if the hype and everything that is around CAMIF is reducing based on when you are there at the festival. So you see what's happening online. You see what's happening online is basically different from what's happening at the festival. You know, so I think that a lot of work needs to be done to enrich the festival on ground. You know, a lot of work needs to be done, a lot of coordination needs to be done because, for example, one thing that got me really pissed off about this CAMIF that passed was the fact that the media doesn't have a time. There's no media time. And we are trying to promote the festival and we don't have a media time. I'm begging for interviews. You know, every interview I have for CAMIF, I literally begged these people. So I had to meet A&M myself to talk to him like, bro, I really need to have an interview with you, please. I had to meet Wood Kadiri's manager. Because those who are in charge of communication at CAMIF cannot grant me that pass to interview with Kadiri. So those are things that I think that if they are worked on, it can make the festival better. The CAMIF needs to engage with the media. I'm talking about my own part of the industry where I know I have an expertise in. CAMIF need to engage with the media because you see people are saying that people are just online and just looking at the fashion and not talking about the festival itself. It's because that's what will make their platforms trending. And it's also because the organizers haven't brought these people on board. Like a few years back, CAMIF used to have press conferences and all that during the festival, but for the past 2 or 3 editions, they have not had it. So it tells you that something is wrong somewhere. So overall, I appreciate what the organizers are trying to do to keep the industry busy. But if they don't sit on the table to discuss about it and then do things the right way, then 2025 could still be the same as 2024 or 2023.
Okay, but again, that's a very, like just listening to you talk, and again, the power of media is not something that can be ignored in a festival like that,
Yeah,
considering that there is a huge power, there is a huge number of people that are not there physically, but following
yeah,
up like from all over the world. So yes,
yeah.
that's a very good point to highlight on. And hey, keep doing what you do. Being able to go there, I watched your
I don't
cover.
think that I'm going to go next year. I don't think that I'm going to come in next year. I don't know.
You will.
I don't.
I'll be there.
I
You
don't.
have to cover me because I probably will be there. So you have to be there to cover me. You need to do Glamourone for me. So
Okay, if you're going to be there, I can be there. Because you know when when you keep going somewhere, and then you keep feeling like this effort I'm doing. I don't think this is what
it's
really needed.
appreciated. Yes.
You gotta really appreciate it because year in year out, I'm being treated at Camille like someone who's attending Camille the first time.
Yep.
Like I was talking to someone that one of the guys. I was like, if I don't have an invitation next year as a media company, I'm
Yep.
not coming. I'm not because I man don't grow. Like
Of course.
if you my people don't show me that I've grown, it means nobody will. Because
That's true.
like if I don't get that, so I really appreciate this year. Even this year was different because they didn't send an appreciation after the festival. I was shocked. I was like,
Okay.
oh, really? That's why I posted it on social media. I was like, yeah, guys, they did this. So if you don't do it, I will say it. And when they do it, I will say it.
You
So
appreciate it.
when you do something right, I'll say it. And if you do something wrong, I will still say it. So that's who I am.
That's
So
good.
people will be like, people think that sometimes when I'm because okay, they say I might be talking with Gilbert and all that, and then no, if it's going wrong, I'm like, it is going wrong.
Let him know. Yeah, of
So I'm
course.
media, so I don't have any side. Like I want it to be done right.
Yep, that is good. And I love that you say that. Again, just as an observer, somebody that started following Camille last year. No, I think I started with Tim first. Then Camille came. I was like, hey, I want to actually get to know more about this thing. Someone that has not been on the social media space like this before. And I'm like, hey, I'm interested. I want to see what is happening and support these things in my own little way. I love
Yeah.
that you're giving your honest thoughts about it and putting these things out there so that they can listen and say, hey, I bet one thing for sure is I bet that this whole media thing needs to be taken seriously because
Yeah,
this is when you
honestly.
don't do that, the people who are there with their gadgets and stuff, what they show us is what we take off the festival. But if you have those
Exactly.
press conferences and you have media houses that are covering it, we'll go to those media houses and watch them, and that is where we digest the authentic, the original. I digest the real
Like
facts
this
of
is
it
like how
without
many
necessarily, yeah,
exactly. This is like a
yeah, I
month
agree.
after Camille. This is like almost a month after Camille. And I think that I'm the only person who has published interviews from Camille.
Of your Kamif interviews, yes, I've seen
I'm
yours.
the only person who has published interviews from Camille. And then I look at it like when that happens, I mean you guys should see that when the next edition is coming, these people who have been doing some work around you guys, you can
Keep
reach out to
them.
them. Oh, it's coming. Can we just sit down? They never ask you say me can give 1 million or my no, just call people, we can sit down. People, human beings like that. Everybody who has a platform just wants to feel like they are appreciated, like you
Yes.
recognize that they have a platform. So I spoke to even the organizer for Simfest. When I was talking to NLB last year, I told him like, bro, I really want to join you guys to promote Simfest, but if you cannot send me an email, you cannot send me an email. I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing, and all that.
Mhm.
Then I'm not going to put my hand and I'm going to post anything. So they did their promotion throughout Simfest until the time where I had an interview on my show, and then I said that to him, and then he was like, "I'm going to send something." I sent it to my inbox, and then I was like, "Okay, so you could do this to my," and then I joined their group.
Familiarity.
That's the
You know the thing
promotion.
they say about familiarity, right? It's really true
Exactly,
that familiarity breeds contempt. That's true.
exactly,
But again,
exactly.
when it comes to business, we cannot condone that, right?
No, we
We
cannot.
cannot
We
let
cannot.
it. You have to be able to stand your ground. You
Yeah.
are MC Dibenja. You're also a businessman. You have a
Yes.
brand to protect. You not just carry your gadgets and go to Camille for Simfest to go. Of course, we want to give back to our community, but at the same time, you want your community to acknowledge you. You want your community, because if they don't acknowledge you, who will? Who
Of
will? You're
course.
not expecting people from other parts of the world to come and say, hey, this is a media house that has been doing this great job and
Yeah.
we want to acknowledge. You don't know. It has to come from them. So, hey,
Yeah.
speaking out, I bet you that is the best thing that you've done. And I bet that it goes places. You see me, I am not a controversial person. I will not call myself a controversial person, but I have some really whimsical thoughts sometimes in my head. It's just because
I think you're one of the most peaceful people I've seen on social media. I think you're one of the most peaceful people I've seen on social media.
I'm, I'm peaceful. I try because I'm not, again, it has to do with the way people are, right? But I want to
Yeah.
get your thought on something. Personally, I love this. You're a media personality. You're in Cameroon. You're on the ground. You see all of these things. You go to all of these events, these festivals, all of these, how do you call them, shows, and all of these things. You are on the ground. You know what is happening on the ground. What is your general thought about 80/20? What do you think about that movement?
I think as a content producer myself, I would definitely want my content to be consumed by my people, to be valorized by my people. And if that happens, it's going to be a great thing. But again, I really cannot shove down content on the throats of my people. So if it's not good, if they don't feel like they want to engage in it, do everything that you can to make them engage on it. As long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're doing the right way. So 80/20 is not a bad thing. So you say, okay, let's come. Because I think every country, I say this all the time, every country, even my show, even my show, when I had Gilbert and see why I said it. I said every country in the world has this quotas where you have consume this local and consume international. And so it's being in Cameroon is not a strange thing. Cameroon has a law of 60/40, even though it's not implemented. So I think that it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But then many people like myself have a problem with the way it's being carried around. 80/20 should not be carried around like hate or something. It should be done in the right format. And like I said to somebody like CY on my show last time, I said that the right channels, the right people to be targeted. Communication lines in this country, for example, I cannot be calling my mom and a Nigerian song is playing as a callback tune. You cannot have that in Nigeria. And so the problem is not me. The problem is not my mom. The problem is not the Cameroonian artists who they have songs. The problem is that communication company, that telecommunication company who is operating in Cameroonian airspace, but at the same time, you are using these foreign things and forcing it down the throat of Cameroonians. So if you are an advocate for 80/20, you are trying to advocate for people to consume or brands in Cameroon to consume Cameroonian products, those are the people you should be targeting.
Yep. That's true. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And thank you so much for your input on that. I love to hear what people think about it. And I generally stand for the fact that 80/20 is not a bad thing. It is a good thing. It is that, again, we expect it to be natural for us. Again, let me talk in the space. Let me talk like for those who are out of the country, right, who are not on the ground. Yeah. With the general idea is that we expect to, hey, you want to gear more towards your own, right?
Towards your own.
And home. Yes, like, hey, what is this? Truth be told, out here, it is very common that if you want to hear African songs, they're mostly going to be Nigerian, South African, Ghana most of the time, right? So even when I go to a bar and I'm sitting at a bar and they play an African song, most of the times I will guarantee you that it's Nigerian. I wouldn't lie to you. But again, that's because they have that power. I cannot control that, right? Because it is that. But that's why I want to tie it back to the fact that where you say this is something that back in the country, we need to target the real people, right?
Exactly.
These are the people that I remember when I was in Cameroon, there was a radio station that you wake up, it played Nigerian songs from morning till night. Only Nigerian songs. So they still do that. That means we need to target. These are the people we need to target. Right? Because if we play more, most of the Nigerian songs that our children sing and stuff, it's not because they go to YouTube and watch those songs. It's because they listen to those songs on the radio and they watch it on TV.
On TV, exactly.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with you. So to me as well, 80/20 it's a very good movement. The challenge around 80/20 is a kind of energy that is being run around it, which of course, if you're not somebody that you're radical, you'll not want to mingle with that. But the movement itself is something that I believe in. And one of the things that I've said on the social media space is that 80/20 is not a person. And I always tell Gilbert, like, Gilbert, Camille is not a person. You are not Camille. You're the CEO of
Yeah.
Kamif. You're not Kamif. I am not
Yeah.
supporting you, but I am supporting Kamif. So yes, I love to take the persons out of Simfest, Kamif. I just love to remove those names and look at the concepts and look at the movements. To me, the campaigns. That is how I just find myself mingling with them and trying to promote them in my own way. So thanks again for your input. I love that you said that. Okay. So thanks again, Dibenja. Thanks for your input on that. Let's move on. The next thing I want us to talk about is a real problem that even sitting in the diaspora, I see in Cameroon, the challenges of running media houses, the challenges of just being a media personality, of just being a producer and doing these things in Cameroon. I don't know if talking about these things will bring us solutions, but hey, we got to talk about them. Who knows? Maybe one of those big people that have been eyeing me will come across this podcast and say, hey, Solange mentioned it. Right? Please tell us a little bit about the challenges that you face in as oh my god, as a creative in Cameroon.
I think one of the biggest problems that we face is, first of all, monetization. To monetize what you're doing, it's difficult. Um, and making money out of what you do, we spend money, we invest a lot of money before you even get that money. First of all, financing, financing the project that you have, because people don't really believe in content in this country. Content is good out there, but yet people don't believe in content. So that's why you have an idea, an amazing idea like that going on. That's why I said an amazing idea like Chat Center. Chat Center was one of the top of shows in this country when we were shooting. But we shot the show right up to the end, no sponsorship. Even when we finished, it was up to today. People have been like, bring back the show, we love the show. Okay, please, can you come in and let's produce a show together? And nobody's coming in because nobody believes in it. So when we started the Studios Network, we spent close to about 8 to 10 million francs to buy equipment. And that was a hard-earned saving, my wife and I. And then we got broke. So because it doesn't come back immediately. It doesn't come back immediately. It's an investment that you are hoping that in the future, it might come in. Mm-hmm. So when we spend that money, few months or is it 1 month later, my wife was pregnant. I was like, why the fuck did we do that? Like, why did we do that? I mean, that's money that we're going to use to buy these things, but it's because it's what we love. It's because the business that we think we know that we're investing in for the future. So getting the finance, getting the sponsorship that you need for a particular project that you're doing, to get sponsors come on board, to get brands believe in that, and then to get people who can finance a project that you do is very difficult. That's one of the most difficult things. And now when you have done it, if you finally try to do it on your own, how do you monetize it? I mean, that's my YouTube channel there. It's still struggling. My YouTube channel is still crying. It's still struggling to grow. And we've been since 2022, we're still struggling to get the YouTube channel to a particular level. Can we monetize in that light? We're still trying to build. It's taking us years after year. We're trying to build it. Because why? Things like this, to get Cameroonians, that's another problem. To get Cameroonians engaged in the content, to go there, watch it, and make sure that they can to build a platform. It's a big problem. So being a creative in this country is a very difficult one. It's a jungle. It's a jungle where I think that, but if you can be able to break that barrier to be like, okay, the one person who's out there, it's still raw. The industry is still raw. There are no lot of ideas. There's no competition in the first place. Like in Cameroon, there's no competition. So that's one good thing. You can only compete with other countries, but internally, like there's no competition. You see shows come up today, the next minute they're gone because there's no finance. So no matter how amazing it is, we're talking about these other shows that are coming up. They come up like my show, for example. Okay, that's it. It's down. Things and cocktails, it's down. We're doing other things. So there's no competition because there's no financing. It's not lucrative. Let me call it that way. It's not lucrative where okay, if I spend my money like this, it's going to come around like this. Even if I spend 10 million, I might be able to get even 5 million. Trust me, if you spend 10 million, you are not sure of getting even 5 million in the next 1-2 years in this country. So that's how the game is right now. Unless now that monetization has come, like people are monetizing their content online, but still, Cameroon doesn't have the monetization thing. You have
what about YouTube? Is Cameroon monetized on YouTube?
You cannot monetize on YouTube. You cannot monetize on Facebook. Nowhere you cannot monetize in Cameroon.
Facebook. Wow. You
cannot. So with that, people only have to depend on people who are out of Cameroon. Okay, I can give you my account. But now, if I'm giving you my account, how flexible is that? How I'm supposed to be sending you content to post? Because I cannot be on the same account. Why in Cameroon? So that's how difficult it is. So for example, my Facebook now, my Facebook account has reached monetization, but now I'm thinking, okay, they're telling us that if I'm monetizing now, it means I'm not going to be posting from here. The person who is in charge of monetization has to be posting from the country that is monetized at. And so those are some of the challenges that we have.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's not easy. And then to get people to, sponsors are some of the easiest way that you can make money aside monetization. People come as sponsors. It's a problem. The only way you can see sponsors come on something is if you are doing comedy content. At least comedians are the only people that benefit from sponsorship in this country. To get people like us who do shows like this and all that, or podcasts
but
and
again,
all that.
If you were to get sponsors as show, it's just that means a media TV needs to buy your content, right?
That's
Otherwise,
and as an independent producer, to get a media buy your content is a very big problem. If they look at it, they see you doing something and they like it, they will not pay for it. They will create the same thing and give it a different name. That's one of the biggest problems that we have in this country. Yeah. I remember when we started Fiki Table, there's a popular TV show in the world who was downloading it on YouTube and putting it on their TV. So, and then we discovered somebody saw it on TV and then screenshot and sent to John. I was like, yeah, you guys are on TV. And everybody was shocked.
Why can't they just come and say, hey, we want you to have a slot on our TV and pay for it? Is that not how people grow?
That's the country we find ourselves in. That's
unfortunate, though.
Very, very unfortunate. It's not easy down here, I swear.
That's unfortunate. And so one thing, so the 6 Studios network, what you're saying is that the 6 Studios network is open for how do you call them again? Sponsorship, or how do you call investors? How do you call that? Like, how does it work? Like for example, with the 6 Studios network, right? Unlike as we talked about comedians and all of these other people, what they do with comedians is that they give them their brand ambassadors and stuff. I don't know if they do that with networks, with TV networks as well. But if somebody were to sponsor or even to be, how does it work with what you do though? How do you get?
Can you take the last question again? I didn't. The last thing you were saying.
Oh, so I'm asking, you see how for comedians, they can easily get like brand ambassadorships and stuff like that. Yeah. If somebody were to work, apart from the hope that big TV houses in Cameroon can come and say, hey, we love your show, we want to give you a slot on CRTV or on again, any of the TV houses in Cameroon. Apart from that, how can anybody that is interested in investing, I call it investment because, man, in this world where we put our money where we want returns, right? Everybody's looking for ROIs, right? How can, if you were to pitch to someone that wants to invest in, for example, the 6 Studios network, what does that look like?
So we are open for investors. Actually, as a company, we're open for investors. And what we need right now, one of the biggest things that we need right now, because we have a manpower, we have a few equipment, not really all equipment. And what we need right now is content marketing. You know, because one of the things that we discovered over this past couple of years is that when you're doing content, there's a huge thing. It's like doing a business. When you're doing a business, there's a huge investment that needs to be made when it comes to the content, the marketing of the project, the product, or whatever you're doing. So one of the biggest problems that we have is content marketing. So it's a whole huge thing on its own. Because someone like myself, I'm a creative. I would come up with these ideas. I will give you the best of content that you want if you want. So we come together, we produce, and we invest in the marketing. So because if we invest, because there's money on YouTube, there's money on Facebook, there's money on all these platforms, on streaming platforms like Spotify and the rest. So what it takes now is, if you want to get this money, you need to invest money in the marketing of the content that you're producing. Yeah, a show like Fiki Table is where it is because, okay, the executive producer, for example, Fiki Table has an executive producer who's behind the scene, and so they're investing. You see Fiki Table going to Nigeria, for example, to go shoot for Nigeria. That's a PR move. That's a marketing move. Mm-hmm. So they're going to shoot there because that's a marketing move. And all that needs a budget. So we are open to do content. We're open to receive investors, even if because we discussed about it. I said, okay, you know what? Even if it's to give some percentage of whatever we have here as a company. Because one thing I've learned all throughout the years is that you cannot build alone. it's difficult for you to build to the level that you want to get to. It's difficult to build alone. I used to be really scared in letting people come into my stuff, but then I learned that you cannot build alone. If you want to get to where you are trying to get to, you cannot build alone. So you need to let people come in. So we're open to give to bring in partners that we can partner. We give, if possible, give our percentage. We produce. We have a business plan that is down for the company in general, and to say, okay, this is what we need right now as a company. This is what we need right now as a company, and this is, if we get this is where we can be in the next 1 year or the next 6 months to 1 year. This is where we can be. So it's all drafted, and we're not just doing stuff. So everything that you see us doing, every show that you see us doing, every time that you see us going out, we have it planned out. We have it mapped out. And so we have a direction that we're going. It might be slow because of probably limited funds and all that, but there's a whole structure that we are building. And there's an amazing idea. I don't want to give it up here because I might give it up here. Somebody's listening, and then maybe I'll talk to you after this about it. An amazing idea that as a studio we have. So we are not looking at just this Cameroonian level. We're not looking at what everyone is thinking here. When I sit down as a creative director, I think I'm gonna look at other things. I'm saying that, okay, they say we have a long way to go, but we can do a lot more right now.
Yeah. That's good. Again, thanks for putting that out there. It's always important for people to know how they can come in if they're interested, and if this is something that moves them, how they can actually be a part of it. So thanks for putting that. Again, we've talked about that challenge, that money challenge, a financial challenge. But another thing that you and I know that we cannot, it's the elephant in the room. This network palaver in Cameroon, like how are people, but I do have a question for you. I have a lot of people who have come, again, I have guests that have joined the show from Cameroon, and the network issue is always the same. But I also know people who work remotely from Cameroon. Is that, how can they succeed to do that? But yet, most of the time we still hear this internet wahala up and down.
Sometimes it's not really that bad, but it's bad. But sometimes it's not that bad. Especially it depends on the kind of connection you're using. So there are people who use optic fiber in the house. Internet in Cameroon is very expensive. If you want to get to that level where you don't have a problem, so it's very expensive.
But you can get there. If you can pay for it, you can have it.
Yes. Oh, so it's pay as you want it to be. You can pay, for example, MTN. You always networks. I'm not doing advert here. Most of these networks, you can actually get the network, but you have to pay really high for it. So these days people are switching to Starlink because sometimes you can even pay for it and you don't even get the result. So in the studio, I go to the studio up here, and they have Camtel, and sometimes it's very good, it's very fast, but trust me, there are times that you go for weeks and you don't have internet. And then you have an internet connection where I can be, you say the download speed is okay, it's nice, you can send messages. But now, as a content producer myself, I will tell you that it's still not going because I need to upload. And that's why I see most content coming out from here, the quality. If I take the quality that we shoot, for example, we shoot in high quality, but I have to step it down so that I will meet that standard to upload, because to upload something like 1 gigabyte in Cameroon, merde.
Wow.
To upload 1 gigabyte content in Cameroon is a very big thing. So these days, if you have to upload, if I have to upload something that will broadcast in the afternoon, I start in the morning, I put it, I start uploading. So I don't leave it there, it's uploading, I'm going about my daily activity. Because you don't want to be caught with surprise, like it's not going. So internet problem is a very problem in this country. Like to upload, like when I was doing chat center, even Taste and Cocktails, you need to be every week you're uploading like 3-5 gigabyte. I have to do overnight. I have to upload overnight so that then I put it to broadcast, to premiere on, because if you want to do it like few hours the show, you miss the time.
Yep, that's right. Wow, that's again, every day we say we hope that things get better and stuff, but I know for sure that that's a real problem. When you talk to every creative in Cameroon, that's always one of their biggest cries. After finance, it's always internet. They're like internet connection is really bad. This has been a great chat, Dibenja. Is there anything that you wanted to also talk about? I think I've not brought it up.
I think we said everything. I'm just going to be clear the fact that we're open for partnerships as a company, and we have amazing ideas that you want to hear them, and so we're open. So we're open to create. We're open to, for now, we were existing since 2022 up to today, and as a company, I have had like 8 years experience in the industry, but as a producer, and I've seen in this past 2 to 3 years now, I've seen some of the things that we need. Some of the things that it's like we're doing on our own, and we've seen how practical it is, and we've seen where we went wrong and how we can do it to make it right, where we can start out from other production companies. And I think that's just to put it out there that we are open. I mean, anybody it's interested, we are open to let people come in and all that. And I want to say thank you very much for having me on the show.
It's not time to thank me yet. Wait. It's not time to thank me yet. I have to put you on a hot seat. You're saying thank you. We're not there yet. You see that same thing that you do to those Gen Zs, right?
Yeah.
I see that again. You can still hear me, can't you?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hear me, right? That's fine.
Yes.
Let's go without the video. You see the same thing that you do, same thing you do with those Gen Zs. It's time. It's your turn, right? And what is going to happen is that I'm going to put you on the spot, and based on your niche, right? Based on what you do, right?
Yes.
I'm going to have you. I'm not going to take the lower one. I'm going to take the top. I'm going to have you list to us 5 of your favorite TV presenters in Cameroon. The mic is yours.
Okay. My top 5 TV presenters in Cameroon, like in no order. These are just people that come. Like I have a lot of people that I respect so much in the industry, but this is just those are in my head right now. So I have Joan, who is my mom and my industry mom and all that. So number 1, I have Steve Fonkam, who's also amazing. I have Ivan Dumbe. Eva is an amazing presenter. I have Patience Mbele, and then I have Dalin. I have Faith Tata. Then Dalin, if I'm going to number 6, I'll go to Dalin Younger. So that's the list, like a lot.
That's nice. Again, you listed. Those are people that I listen to as well in Cameroon.
Yeah.
So it means you know.
I believe 20. I believe 20.
I asked for 5. You gave me 6.
That's 5. So I can list 20 because all these people, I appreciate everybody, all what they're doing to bring the industry together and to make sure that with the industries. Because back like 2 or 3 years back, let's say 4 years back, we didn't have a lot of these people, we didn't have a lot of these shows and all that, but now they're coming up. And I'm excited because it's not just one person that the eyes are on. There's so many people that you can look. You have options. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Yep. I love that. That's beautiful. So again, I did not want to make things hard for you by telling you to list your worst. I wanted you to
I don't have worst. I don't have worst.
Yeah, I should have gone that route. Hey, this is that time where I give you the mic, and please, if you want me to turn off my video, I'll turn off my video.
I don't want you to turn your video. Keep it on.
I want you to talk to the world, right? I always have this imagination that I have the powers. I don't know if that's going to come when I'm already an old woman, but I have the imagination that I have the powers to just speak to the world. And I have that power to hand over the mic to anybody that I want to, that I trust, or that I believe in, that person can speak to the world and make a difference. And I'm not somebody that is driven by crowd. I am driven by an impact, even if it's just one impact. So you're honored to be in the spot where you get to own the Soso Babes mic and you talk to the world. Right? I was a little bit worried that you want to run away, but you're here. I'm
not running away.
You're at the point where you own the Soso Babes mic and you get to talk to the world. What would you tell them? And if you can do this in your voice over voice, I'm going to so much.
I haven't eaten, so I don't know if that voice is gonna come, but let me just try it.
The mic is yours. It's gonna come. Oh, the mic is yours.
Yeah, I was. All right. Hey everybody. This is MC Dibenja. All I want to say today is keep doing what you do. Never stop. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. And, if I could do this, if I could be here right now, I think that you can be whatsoever you want to be. So don't stop. Keep doing it. Keep going. I love you all.
Awesome. Thank you, MC Dibenja. This has been an amazing interview. So relaxed. Your energy is beautiful. I could just chat and laugh with you again. It's amazing when I talk to someone that has such a lovely spirit, and it just makes me want to do this more. Thanks again for all you do in the community. Please give a shout out I know your Facebook is MC Dibenja. That's the one I follow. What about
Yeah.
YouTube?
So before I go, I have this thing that before I say that, I have this thing that I always say to people: if you're going forward and you're going to a particular direction and you get stuck, change your direction and look for another direction. Don't stay there. Don't fall down. Just change your strategy. If you're doing something and you get stuck, just change the strategy. That's what we do at the Six Studios Network. If we are trying something and we get stuck, we try another thing. There is no year that will go by, God willing, that we don't do something. So don't stop. Just change the direction. If there's a stone, you change the direction. But just keep going. Don't stop. Now, my social media handles on Facebook, I'm MC Dibenja Ngotto. On TikTok, I'm MC Dibenja. On Instagram, our YouTube channel is the Six Studios Network. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Six Studios. Let's enjoy ourselves.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to put those in the description. And hey, you'll be able to listen to on other podcast platforms, Spotify. There's one that I just recently subscribed to in Cameroon. I've forgotten the name, but there is Spotify, there is Apple Podcasts, there's all of this. You'll be able to listen to us talk, and you'll be able to watch this video as well on YouTube. Hey, that's why I wanted you to bring your voice over voice, because it feels good when you listen to that with headphones. Thank you again, Dibenja. It's been an amazing session with you, and I appreciate every second that you've spent with me.
Thank you so much for having me, Solange. I appreciate having me on your platform. It means I don't blow. I don't blow. Marco Village. Mommy, I don't blow. I don't blow.
I don't make them.
I don't make them. I'm sitting in Cameroon. I'm talking to the US. Woo-hoo! I don't blow.
You're talking to Sasso Babe. See, it's such an honor to have you. You don't even know.
So I mean, can I say something before I go?
Yes, go ahead.
Man, you are beautiful.
Oh, I am? Oh my gosh. Thank you,
Dibenja. You are beautiful. I just wanted to say that before we go.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliments. It makes me blush. Like, thanks a lot. Thanks again. My warm regards to your wife and children. And thank your sister for letting you use her device.
Please don't make her remember. I start putting on wings on my shoulder.
Awesome. Thanks again, man. I'll talk to you. Hey guys, and that was my chat with MC Dibenja. If you notice, my lighting went down a little bit, and this is all of how long it took me to chat with him. And it's been rainy, it's been sunny, everything happening. The weather is changing. When you use natural lights, this happens. But hey, it's been an amazing session. I appreciate Benja for coming up here and talking with me. And I look forward to talking to more amazing people out there. This is what puts a smile on my face. This is what makes me happy. When I put out content like this, talking to people like this, it just makes me feel like, hey, Solange, you are able to impact your community in whatever little way that you can. Thanks again, guys. Remember that you can be anything. And in the process of becoming anything, remember to be good to each other. One tiny little act of kindness can just change someone's life. Be blessed, and remember, I love you now and always.